What up, guys? Welcome to the Dry Wipe Chronicles featuring your boy Rocky G _inks. That's my Instagram handle, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. I've been reminded to let you guys know to like, comment, subscribe. So we'll go like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on. I guess it helps with the algorithm to get more people involved in, I guess, what we got going on here. It's pretty cool what we got going on. I kind of fell on this unintentionally. Let me give you guys a background of how this even started. My homie Alfonso, who runs BLAZTED.NETWORK, he interviewed me last year in February, and it was a cool interview. Like, it was very long, actually. It was to his surprise, it ran very long, about an hour and a half, I think, right? Hour and a half. And he hit me with like, "Hey, Rock, like, you ever thought about doing your own podcast?" I was like, "Nah, what the fuck?" Like, this was a long time ago. This is like a little, like, what is it called? Like a little idea. And I was like, "Nah, I never thought about that." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I think you'd be really good at it. You know, just talking. You know, when you talk, people will listen, and you have things to say." So I figured, all right, maybe one day. And then I was slowly playing with like, what would I call it? What would I call the podcast? And then I came up with Dry Wipe Chronicles. Don't ask me how I came up with it. I just said Dry Wipe Chronicles, and I was like, "Damn, that's dope." And then my homies were like, "Bro, that's fucking sick." I was like, "Damn, is it? That sounds pretty cool." Like, Dry Wipe Chronicles, and it just stuck. Fast forward to about when we dropped the first episode a couple months ago. We were supposed to do part 2 of that interview, and Alfonso was like, "Hey, Rock, we're going to do your first episode on your podcast." And I was like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Well, what do I say?" He's like, "Dude, just talk like you normally do." And I said, "Fuck it." And, you know, some people love it, some people don't. The ones who love it, that's fucking awesome. The ones who don't, fuck them. I really don't care. I'm at this point in my life where I let things unfaze me. I'm not bothered by anything anymore. You know what I mean? So, but the ones who do mess with it, I appreciate that. I did want to give you guys a little bit of a little bit behind the scenes, I guess, or how the Dry Wipe Chronicles came about and how it started. Is very unintentional. There was never like a let's do a podcast type of thing. I kept putting it off for a very long time, and then until Alfonso was like, "No, we're gonna do it today." So that's literally how it happened. So don't ask me the motto or whatever the fuck. Like, it literally happened just like that. And 3 episodes later, here we are, right? So fortunately, I've been given this opportunity to have this platform where obviously I am a tattoo artist. My main focus is tattooing, right? But I find it kind of cool how I'm able to do this for people on Instagram or even on YouTube, whatever platform it is. When I say certain things, people gravitate towards it. So I figured, okay, well, let's use a platform that I have and maybe speak on things that I've done that have helped me in my life. Granted, I don't know everything there is to know about business or tattooing, but I try my best to learn something new every day. And I feel like I'm in a good position to maybe help people also who are along that same journey. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about too, speaking about on the journey, is one of the things I have written down in my podcast discussions is starting late and putting the work in to catch up. You know, I didn't start tattooing until 2021, guys. It was unintentional, the same thing. And people always ask me like, "Well, damn, Rocky, like, how'd you get good like this or whatever?" I don't think, guys, granted, I don't think that I'm good. Like, I think I'm still learning a lot every day. Like, don't think that I'm on here pretending, "Oh yeah, this guy's a shit." Like, no, not at all. Like, I have so much to learn. I'm a student of the game. But people ask me that, like, "Well, damn, dude, look at your following, and you did this, you did that. Like, what is the secret?" There is no secret. Like, how I look at it is I started tattooing very late. I started tattooing at 31 years old. I turned 34 this year. April 2nd is my birthday, by the way. You know what I mean? Just letting y'all know, motherfucker, you know? Yeah, so when I turned 31, before I turned 31, I started tattooing. And, yeah, well, no, 31 I was tattooing. And I realized, like, fuck, I'm 31 years old. I'm starting tattooing very late in my life, as opposed to others who started tattooing when they were 16, 14, whatever the case is. And they have all these years of experience, and I need to play catch up. So the reason why I go so hard, I feel like, and I tattoo so much and I'm so work driven because I understand that I have to play catch up. Now, granted, I don't ever want to compare myself to other people because that'll like kill any joy you have in life when you start comparing yourself to others. It does kill. Like if you compare your 3 years to somebody's 10 years, it's very rough. It's very demoralizing. So I try not to worry about so much as far as like how many years they have on me, more so like I just need to catch up to make sure that I recuperate from all the years that I haven't been tattooing. So one of the so when people ask me that question, that's the answer. It's like I started tattooing very late and I figured, fuck it, I need to play catch up. This is what it is. I need to fucking grind. And that's what I've been doing. It wasn't until just recently, this past year, where all that hard work started coming into fruition, where it wasn't until just about April or May of last year where I started posting so much content. I've always been so focused on my craft. You know, the first 2.5 years, I was really focused. Like nothing else matters to me besides the craft. And I just want to let people know that too. Like it wasn't until just recently I started posting a lot of content, but a lot of people say, well, yeah, focus on the craft and post content later. No, I just made it a priority of mine to that. Like when I start tattooing, I can ask, you know, my homie here who's not tattooing, hey, record a video for me. People use this excuse a lot, like, well, I don't have time to post content. And it's like, Dick, yes, you do. You just don't want to make the time for it, or you don't care for it, right? So if I'm busy, I'm tattooing, I'm in the zone, I'll ask my homie, like, hey, David, Brian, Julius, Jason, Gio, Valerie, Helen, Danny. I don't want to miss anybody. Did I miss anybody? Hey, can you record this for me? And they will, you know, but I asked them to and they will, and I'll use that in a clip. So you can always record something, but I just want you guys to know that, yeah, I think paying a lot of attention to your craft is most important. As long as you love the art and you love what you're doing, all that other shit will come along. So that's one of the reasons I had on my notes for a podcast discussion was starting late and putting the work in, is because I needed to play catch up with some people, with me in particular, but also the guys around me. Surrounding myself with these people who I tattoo with now is just like, it's a blessing, you know, seeing all these guys around me and put out dope fucking work. It made me realize like, yo, I don't want to be the weak link, right? I think nobody at any studio, at least for as far as I'm concerned, nobody at any studio wants to be the last guy named, right? Let's say you work at the gallery. This is a beautiful place. It's a penthouse, by the way. It's a private penthouse. So if you haven't been here, you should come check it out. Anyways, nobody wants to be that last guy mentioned. Oh yeah, the gallery. Oh damn, they got a bunch of dope ass artists there, dog. Julius, Danny, Jason, Angie, Helen, Banks, Valerie, Gio. Oh, and then Rocky Tattoo. I don't want to be the and then guy. Right. And that's not saying that I'm in competition with these people, just that these people who I tattoo around push me so much. And there's so much talent here. I don't want to be the last guy named. Right. And maybe that's one thing you guys should think about. That's what motivates me, is making sure that like my work is just as dope as the guys that I'm around, you know, and surroundings are very important when it comes to that, man. I feel like a lot of tattoo artists are probably around the wrong people. You know, we got a lot of heat. Not a lot. I don't want to say heat, but some people were in their feelings. Some people said certain things about. We posted a reel. We posted a reel. It was about being hungover while tattooing, and a lot of people took that out of context. You know, they were just butthurt or whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean, like let's say you're at a tattoo shop, okay. And all the guys at the tattoo shop, as soon as they're done tattooing, all they care about is like smoking or doing crack or whatever, fucking doing heroin, and then going out and drinking, and then come back the next day hungover and all fucked up, and their mindset is not into tattooing, right? Those are the guys I don't want to be around. I mean, and that's okay, right? Let's make sure this is clear, guys. You guys are still not understanding that this is my insignificant opinion. This is my ideal, how I look at it, right? I don't want to be around those people. The people I want to be around with are the people who are like, damn, all right, Rocky, like we just finished this tattoo. What do you think about it? Let's look at it real quick. Let's zoom in. All right, cool. Damn, you could have blended this a little better. You could have pulled that line. This could have been packed in more black. Or maybe next time add this, add that. You know, or even after they're done tattooing, they want to do something else. Like I want to be around the people who are constantly looking to get better. Now, that doesn't mean going out and drinking and all that is a bad thing. That's fine. Do whatever you want on your own time. If you're able to do that and put out great work and constantly grow, that's cool. Fuck yeah. I'm just saying, me as a person, I don't want to be around that, right? Like, I think your surroundings are very important. Protect your energy, right? Protect the people, or protect what you're surrounded by, as far as like if you're around good people or bad people. Another thing we wanted to talk about was a lot of people, this has been like a topic I'll receive like messages from, you know, people always ask me as far as like, you know, how did you do what you're doing? Like, how did you like start this late, and then you're here now and you're doing all this cool stuff, and you're getting better at tattooing? As I talked about earlier, right, starting late and putting in the work to catch up to that. But it's also, I feel like I tattoo early, right? And I know a lot of artists, like most artists, tattoo later in the day, like 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Once again, guys, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just talking about my experience. And this is a question that I've got asked a lot. Today I posted, like, if you have a question, ask. And people were asking me, like, do you benefit from tattooing early rather than later? I do. I believe so. And the only way I can really, like, the only example I can give is one day there is an interview with Kobe Bryant, and Kobe talked about how, like, I'm paraphrasing, but Kobe talked something about he'd be at the gym like at 4 a.m. or something. Like, he would wake up at 4 a.m, work out, go home, eat breakfast, and then take a shower, then go back to the gym, work out, blah, blah, blah. Like, he would get like 3 or 4 workouts in compared to the guy who started working out at 8 a.m., right? And I think that's the reason why I like to tattoo early. I like to tattoo early because I want to get up early. Let's say like 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, whatever the case is. I wake up, get ready, and I'm at the gallery usually around 8:30 or 9, preferably 8:30. I'm here. I take my time. I set up and stuff like that, and then I'll start tattooing at 9:30, 10, all the way until however long it takes me. But I feel like when I get up earlier, I utilize more time. I feel like that's what helps me. Waking up earlier and using more hours throughout the day help me get better. If I could spend more time with my needle on skin, I'm all for that. So if that means waking up earlier, starting at 10, and even tattooing until 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., that's 12 hours of work. Yeah, I'm going to take that for sure. And I feel like that's the reason why my work has gotten better than it used to be 3 years ago, is because I've started doing that, where I told myself I need to access more hours throughout the day. So that means you got to wake up early, maybe tattoo a little bit later. But my main focus is always trying to put ink to skin. And I think that a lot of artists out there who want to get better, maybe start by tattooing earlier, not tattooing so late in the day. I also feel like being prepared. Usually I come to the gallery super early, and I'll do that. Like, I'll have all my stuff laid out, so when the client comes, boom, we're good to go. And this is like a segue. This is a segue into my next thing. We're gonna reel this shit for sure, probably. But this is a segue into my next thing, right? So I don't actually have it written down on here. I think I do timeliness. So I have this thing, right, where whenever a client books an appointment, I will send them my booking info. Now, for those who haven't seen the booking info, or read or seen the booking info, I advise you to go read it, maybe check it out, and probably look at it for a reference. But in my booking info, it talks about timeliness, right? Now, when a client is ready to book an appointment with me, I will send them my booking info, and I will say, read this thoroughly. If you have any questions, ask them. And when they say, okay, I'm good, I've read it, send me the info, I'll send them my Zelle info for the deposit. Once they send their deposit, great, then I'll provide them with the address of the gallery, and I'll provide them with a following message that describes my punctuality rule. Now, for some people, it's like, wow, that sounds like military school, but it works, right? So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys really quickly. In my timeliness policy, it says this: parking is found on the street and parking lots. You'll have to pay for parking, so make sure it covers the duration of the time at the studio. I have a 30-minute grace period when it comes to your appointment time, so please be punctual and show up on time. Compensate for traffic and time to find parking. We're in downtown LA. It's not a big deal, right? You should compensate for all this stuff. After 30 minutes, you'll have to reschedule and your deposit will be forfeited. You'll need a new deposit to secure another appointment. Now, some people are like, wow, dang, dude, that's strict. Well, yeah, I value my time, and so should you. Each and every person who's watching this, whether you're an artist or who runs their own business, 1,000% you should have that, because then that person is going to respect your time. If I'm here at the studio early, set up, ready, and waiting for you, I don't think it's too much to ask for you to be on time, right? Now, the reason why I do that is because I want to be taken serious, right? This is a business. Obviously, I love my craft, but this is also a business. So please be on time. I've given you the directions. I've let you know about the parking situation and about traffic. Now, after 30 minutes, they're done. That's it. I don't care if it's 31 minutes after. They're done. Their deposit is forfeited. That's it. If you want a tattoo, you have to book another session, and a new deposit will be required. But ask me, Rocky, how many people have been late? None. Absolutely none. Nobody has ever been late, because they understand in the very beginning that, damn, this guy, he values his time. Like, this guy's a businessman. I'm not going to run late on this guy. Most of my clients, 9 times out of 10, will be here 30 minutes before their appointment. So that goes to show you guys, if you guys are having that issue with clients being late or whatever the case is, maybe institute a new rule. Now, another thing I want to talk about, another rule that I started instituting is, one day I had a client and we were here. I was set up already and I started drawing on him. And in the very beginning of the tattoo, he started to sound skeptical because he was divulging all this information to me I won't share. But he started saying all this stuff. I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna give me a problem. But prior to that, we were in the waiting room and he was talking about how scared he was to get the tattoo. So that was like a red flag. Long story medium, I started drawing on him. About an hour went by and he goes, you know what, bro, I can't do this anymore. I don't want the tattoo. And I was like, oh shit. What do I do? I have no idea what to do. This has never happened to me. So very calmly and professionally, I just said, all right, you know what, dude? Like, okay, I guess. Like, now this guy rented an Airbnb, drove from San Jose to get tattooed by me. So this guy was fully invested. But for some reason, from the moment he walked in to being scared of getting tattooed to being here after divulging all that information to me, he changed his mind. And I had never been through that experience before. So I thought, fuck it, I don't know what to do. All right, you know what, dog? Remember, clients pay me. When they sign their consent form, they pay me immediately. I do not take payment after the tattoo is done. You pay when before the tattoo's even started. Because I don't want to hear like, oh, you just tattooed me. All right, cool. Like, how much do I owe you? Come on, dog. Like, we know how much you owe me. We talked about this on the DM. Or if I'm tattooing a client and the client taps out, he's like, oh, nah, bro. Like, we only did 4 hours. Nah, I'm only going to pay you for 4. Then you have a problem. Now you have a real problem on your hands, right? So for me, as soon as they walk in, they sign the consent form. Great. Oh, we discuss this and be XXX. Fantastic, bro. Payments due up front. Is it cash or Zelle? Fantastic. Go ahead and send that over. Boom, it's sent over. Great. Now we can go to the back and start the tattoo. So I don't have to worry about any of that awkward shit at the end. And for those of you who may have this question, no, I do not ever accept or expect a tip. So that weird thing about, oh, should I tip him? For all of you, my potential clients, if there are any on this watching this, no, I don't expect a tip. You're already paying a good amount of money. I don't expect a tip. I really genuinely don't. Anyways, so this guy, I was drawing on him for an hour. That happened. I said, fuck, I don't know what to do. Never been through this before. You know what? Here's your money back. Here's all of your money back. Not the deposit, but here's all of the money you pay me today. Here it is. Thanks for coming. And that was it. He left. Immediately after that, I fucking pulled out my iPad and I was like, in my booking info, I updated it immediately. I was like, fuck that. We're not going to do this again. I'm going to learn from this mistake. In my booking info, it says this. Where is it at? For any reason you decide to not get tattooed after payment has been collected, Rocky G Inc. LLC will keep 40% and return 60% of the remaining total. This is for my time and supplies that have been exhausted. That right there will showcase to any person that wants a tattoo that this guy is business. Like, he takes his craft serious. He's not about games. When you come here to get tattooed by me, it's, yes, there's definitely vibes. We got R&B most of the time, or hip hop. We're having a good time. There's nothing but good vibes here, but understand also this is a business. You know, take me serious, because I take my craft serious, so I expect you to take me serious. So that's to give you guys a little input on why I changed my booking info and it is the way that it is, or my timeliness policy. I think if a lot of artists started doing that and holding themselves accountable and treating themselves as a businessman, maybe you guys wouldn't have certain events occur where you can kind of like dilute those or sift them out. Like the people who aren't serious. For example, like when you get a tattoo by me, I require a pretty hefty deposit. That's to ensure that you are 100% serious about this tattoo. I don't collect $100 or $150 deposits only because for some weird reason, people are okay with losing $100. They are, because it's like a single bill. They're okay with losing that. But nobody's okay with losing $300, $400. So I know that if I book you for an appointment and you pay a $400 deposit for a full day, I'm pretty sure that you want to get tattooed by me. For example, I had a client, he paid a $400 deposit. Unfortunately, he got into a car wreck the morning of, and he DM'd me. He goes, bro, I'm running a little late, but I'll make it. I got into a car accident this morning at 3 or 4 in the morning. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I kind of would have understood, like, if you didn't make it or you were late, right? I would have understood that. But when he got to the studio, he goes, bro, fuck that. I wasn't losing $400. Are you kidding me? And I immediately thought, it works. Even whatever happened to him, he still made it on time because he paid a $400 deposit, right? So that's what I'm saying about, like, taking care of your business and making sure you are being taken serious, man. I think it's very important. Like I said, a lot of artists don't consider themselves as businessmen, and they should. Another thing I want to talk about is manifesting, right? And being a dreamer. I think, just today, I've been having like a lot of these encounters. Recently I posted on Instagram of how I was live one day, and my homie Bees hopped in the live. This was like 3 years ago, and I was like, damn, bro, hopefully I can meet you one day and be as good as you and blah, blah, blah. Then 3 years later, we had a podcast with him. It was super fucking dope, got a lot of love. Same thing with Angelo, right? You guys, I was watching his videos on YouTube in my one-bedroom apartment, and now 3 years later, he's asking me to do a lettering tutorial on his YouTube channel. Like, it fucking blew my mind. This morning, a lot of it kind of hit me this morning. I was super overwhelmed by all these emotions. I thought, like, this is fucking crazy. I've really, like, manifested this life. And I'm going to prove to you guys, right? I'm going to show you this thing. I don't know can you zoom in on this? Probably not all. Look, anyways. Well, yeah, we can screenshot it. So in 2021, right? You see that? 2021, people on Instagram Live. In 2021, I wrote, this is fucking real life. This is real life here. Probably screenshot it. October 3rd. Oops. Let's open this again. October 3rd, 2020. Okay. I remember watching this guy on YouTube. His name was Ben Fisher, I think. And on October 3rd of 2020, I wrote 2 columns, an A column and a B column. A column was supposed to be things about me now. So me back in October 3rd, 2020. And then he said, write another column and call it B and put goals that you want to accomplish in 1 year. So October 3rd, 2020, I put me now, tattooing in a 1-bedroom apartment, have not attempted a portrait, have only done 2 tattoos, charging a minimum of $50, no steady schedule, and 1,800 followers on Instagram. Okay. And then I put goals for 1 year, and I wrote tattoo full time, be financially stable, work in a private studio, do more realism, be booked a month out, do more script. Okay. You hear me? Do more script. Now all I fucking do is script. It's crazy. Do more script and have 10,000 followers on Instagram. That was my 1 year goal. Okay. October 3rd, 2020. And this shit was my fucking screensaver every day for a year. I would fucking wake up and read this shit. Before I went to sleep, I would read this. And I did that because I knew eventually I would be so fucking sick and tired of reading this list and not being able to check anything off this list. I'd be like, fuck, man, how many days have gone by? 4 days. I haven't done anything on this list yet. Now, granted, I gave myself a year, 365 days. I don't know if 2020 was a leap year. Probably was a leap year. 366 days, whatever the fucking case is. But that was a thing. I was like, fuck, man, I need to be able to accomplish some of these goals before then. So I would read it every day, man. And when I tell you that that's what manifesting is, that is literally what it is. Like being able to see that type of shit. Like write something down, read it every day, or whatever the case is that's going to help you accomplish your goals. And I don't think that's talked about enough. Like I think people like make fun of the word manifestation or being a dreamer, which I think is so ridiculous because I've dreamt everything up to this day. Like I remember closing my eyes and thinking to myself, all right, cool. I'm going to be a tattoo artist, a full-time tattoo artist. I'm going to be at I want to be at that penthouse at Julius. This is before I met Julius. You know, I want to be at the penthouse. I want to tattoo there and I want to do lettering and I want to do all this stuff. And I would close my eyes and I would see it. And I understood if I could fucking close my eyes, if I could see it, if I can feel it, if I can touch it, if I can smell it, then it is real. I can make it happen. You could do whatever the fuck you guys want to do. I don't like when people ask me like, how did you do this or how did you do that? I don't know. I just decided I wanted to do it and I just fucking did it. I let nothing get in my way. I will surmount any fucking obstacle. Nothing will get in my way of what I need to accomplish. And that is the secret, if there is one, right? I feel like people settle too much. I wrote a thread of the day today about that, you know, about people settling. They settle for the life they have when it's like, that's ridiculous. You can always do better if you want better, right? If you want to be better, if you want more, if you want to do better, you can definitely do that. You know, I like, for example, right now, my homie G Baby just hopped in this live. Let me tell you something about G Baby, guys. This is G Baby. So his name on Instagram is G_Baby_Inks. And we're actually going to have him on the podcast. But let me tell you something about this motherfucker. He came to the gallery as an apprentice. Okay. And the very first time I met him, I was like, damn, this motherfucker's talented. He could draw. The first tattoo he did, I was like, wow, this fucking guy. Now, I'm not going to give you guys too much info because he will be telling you this stuff on Instagram, on the podcast. Fast forward, I remember him saying like, damn, Rocky, like I want to be a full-time artist, but I'm also working he had like a job at a sneaker shop or something. And I was like, fuck that, bro. fuck that, G baby. Like, take that leap, bro. Take that leap. You'll never know what you're capable of until you do it. And I remember he told me, he's like, hey, Rocky, I quit my job, like with a smile. Like, he was proud. I was like, fuck yeah, that's right. Like, you got to be in this shit all in. Like, there's no halfway house, right? Oh, not halfway house, but halfway in, halfway out. And he quit his job, and now he's working at fucking Ganga. That's fucking crazy, right? Now he works at Ganga, and he puts out fucking dope ass work. But all because he followed a dream, right? He believed in himself. And a lot of you people don't do that shit. I don't know what it is, because if you're waiting for me or for somebody to be like, hey, man, you can do it. Like, I believe in you. You guys are going to be waiting all fucking lifetime for that. Like, you're never going to get that. Not genuinely, maybe. It's hard. So you got to really fucking believe in yourself. You got to have the most confidence in yourself, you know? And I talk about that a lot too, how being confident is like a superpower. You know, I feel like I'm very confident in everything that I do. And I feel like that goes a long way when trying to accomplish certain things in your life, when you want to reach goals, you know? Like I said, man, it's just, I think when you're confident, you can really manifest things. I am really truly a believer in that. Like, you know, looking back 3 years ago to where I'm now, like, it's like a fucking blur, you know? Like, I said I wanted to do these certain things, and now I'm doing it, and it's kind of surreal. I really don't know. I could kind of get emotional about it, because I don't really know how to explain when people ask me, like, really ask me, like, what is it, dude? What's the secret? I don't know, dude. Like, just work hard, try to be humble, you know? I get all these messages, man, and it's so crazy. People will message me and say, thank you, Rocky. Like, the podcast is super dope. It helped me get through something, and I'm so awkward. Like, I try to be like, thank you, but like, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, it's just, I don't know how to respond, because it's all so new to me. Like, the fact that I'm able to help people, or like change people's lives, or help them go through a hard time in their life. It's like, for me, it's like, wow, I want to thank you. Like, it's so cool. I feel honored that I can even be a part of whatever you're going through, or help you. Like, I'm glad that my words have impacted you so much to where it's helped you surmount that obstacle, you know? So, you know, getting a lot of those messages from people, it's almost overwhelming, you know? The intention, like I said, of the podcast wasn't for me to be like, yeah, guys, this is who I am. I'm fucking Rocky G. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm just trying to tattoo for the rest of my life, you know, and do cool shit. But I think, you know, with Alfonso pushing me to do this, it was kind of like it's cool because he saw something in me that I didn't see, you know, like, he was like, yeah, Rocky, you should try this. You should do this. And I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm literally talking to like fucking cameras, except like you guys who are on live, you know, but I thought it'd be super weird. But, you know, when you do have people who believe in you, I think that's pretty dope. You know, like, yes, self-confidence is key, but like I mentioned earlier, surroundings. And, you know, I'm thankful, Alfonso, you know, for him doing that, him really pushing that on me, because I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was like, what do you do for aftercare? Can of ink, my boy, can of ink for aftercare. But he was literally setting up, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do interview 2 for Blasted. He's like, hey, Rocky, we're gonna do your podcast. And I was literally like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you said, hey, we're gonna do well, you said we're gonna do the interview. You said we're gonna do the interview for part 2 for the Blast interview, but then to that day you're like, we're gonna do the podcast. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're setting up. I was like, oh man, I'm not ready for this shit. I started sweating all of a sudden. I was like, oh God, what am I gonna say? And he was like, just speak, bro. Just say whatever it is you want to say. And it's cool impacting whoever I've impacted. And I just want to say thank you guys, you know, for real, straight up, for even like paying attention to anything that I'm saying. That the words that I have weigh so heavy for some people, man. And I'm just kind of giving you guys an experience, or experiences that I've been through, and kind of just talking about things that have helped me along my life. Not even about tattooing, just anything in general. Things that have helped me grow as a person. But talking about tattooing is pretty cool. Obviously, I feel like this is an outlet for me. Like tattooing has given me the extraordinary position, right, to be able to tattoo and also help people at the same time. And I am very, very thankful for that. And for the podcast, it's cool because I get to give you guys an additional insight of that by being, I guess, visual, being visual about it. With another thing is, people have asked me about thread of the day. Man, how thread of the day started, it wasn't even intentional either. I was at the gallery and they were like, "Hey, have you seen this new thing called Threads?" I'm like, "No, what the fuck is that?" And they pulled it up and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, Twitter, I guess. And I was like, "Damn, that's cool, I guess, whatever. I don't even use Twitter, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with this?" So I remember thinking to myself all day, like, okay, well, here's a new thing, a new platform, right? And you have to keep up with the times in order to grow, right? To grow your business. So I was like, all right, well, I got to figure out a way to use this thing. And I remember saying to myself, well, I want to be on Threads, like talking a lot to myself or whatever the case is. So I was like, I gotta figure out a way to use this in a way to benefit me as far as Instagram. And then the next morning, I saw artists started posting their thread and they're posting it onto their story. And I thought, ooh, I want to do that. I could do that. And I said, but I don't want to just talk about stupid shit. I said, maybe I should. Every morning I wake up, there's usually a thought that goes in my head. And that's where thread of the day came from. So when I woke up that morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to write the first thing that comes to my mind when I wake up. And when I got the idea of being able, or when I saw that you could post it onto your story, I thought that's my way to get threads onto my profile. So that morning, after I saw that, I usually think of whatever I think of, my morning thoughts, and I decided to call it Thread of the Day. And I wrote what I thought, and that was it. And I didn't think anything of it. I haven't thought anything of it until people started hitting me up and saying like, damn, dude, that was dope what you said. Like, it resonated with me. And then it became a thing. Like, now I can't go a morning without, I haven't gone one morning without posting Thread of the Day. I think it's almost been a year. I don't know how long threads have been out, but it's coming up on a year soon. And I've been posting on that shit every day. And now it's just something that I do every morning. And, I think it's kind of cool that some people do find substance in it. It like I said, it all started off with me just talking about the first thing that came to my mind in the morning. And every morning, that's what happens. Like, there's certain things that come to my mind that I want to get out, and I'll just write it on there. And some people, it helps them, and they have these amazing messages that they send me, telling me how much it helped them or how thankful they are. And I can't even express really about how much that means to me. Like, I think the podcast is cool, guys, because it's also given me an opportunity to tell you guys how I feel about what's going on right now, right? Like, I can't respond to all the messages, but through this podcast, this is my way of responding, right? Just because I don't respond to you guys doesn't mean that I'm like this fucking hot shot and too cool for school. I don't think that at all. Like, anybody who really knows me, like really fucking genuinely knows me, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm super chill. Like, I'll give anybody the clothes off my back. If I have $1 left, fuck, homie, we're gonna split some like McDonald's fries, if that's all we had, me and somebody, like, I'm not that guy. So I understand that I can't respond to all the messages, but I see them, and I can use this to say thank you guys. Like, it means more to me than you guys know, for sure. And it's funny because like I wrote all this other stuff down, but now we're venturing off to like a whole other like topic, and I'm definitely going off track of what I have written down here, but that's okay, right? It's unscripted. It's not meant to have a specific topic. Real quick though, I'll shout out some people on Instagram. Got my homie Benji in here. What up, Benji? Bach Box 662. I think if you're still in here, I think Trevor sent you that logo, bro. I think you're gonna work on it for us. It's pretty dope. Shout out to my boy Trevor. Hey, yeah, that boy's a menace. That's Dr. Trevor right there. He yeah, man, that's my dog, dude. I asked him, I'm a really huge fan of his casual work. I think it's Trevor at trevor.d.r.miller. I'm assuming that's what it is. I asked him, huh? Yeah, we'll add it, yeah. And then yeah, I asked him to create a logo for me. He did it like that, dude. I think he was in New York, and he was like, hey, I got you, Rock. Like, and he came up with a rough draft. I actually have the rough draft. I'm actually gonna frame it. I'm gonna frame the rough draft. But this is the rough draft right here. This is what it looks like. Wipe Chronicles. So this is the rough draft that he drew, and I'm gonna frame it. It's super fucking dope. He's got like some scribbles on the back, you know. But yeah, he was in New York and he wrote it out. And I was like, dude, that's fucking dope. Like, oh my god, I love it. Let's run it, you know. And yeah, so I want to frame that. But you know, it's kind of cool when you get to meet certain people. I feel like, you know, that kind of change your life in ways where you never thought imaginable. You know, I think that's why I like to network so much and meet certain people, because you never know what that person has to offer. You know, at some point in time, you can both benefit from each other. You know, and I think that's super fucking rad. Earlier today, actually, my homie Angelo, which you guys all know who Angelo is, Angelo called me and he was talking to me because I was telling him about this thing. Did I talk about Apple? I haven't talked about that. Have I? On the first episode? No, I don't think I did. So I don't remember, but fuck it. Yeah, Apple has this thing. It's called the Apple Business account, and if you have a company, you're able to go to Apple, create a business account, and you're able to lease products. And that's what I do. And I told Angelo about it when I was back in Sacramento a couple of weeks ago, and he called me. He was like, "Hey, Rock, like, I'm trying to buy a new iPad, bro. What was the thing you told me?" And I hit him up. I was like, "Yeah, dog, do this, and this, you know, and tap in with Apple." And now he's over there at Apple trying to get trying to get some product, and that's super cool, right? That's what I mean. Like, we're all helping each other in ways, in different ways, you know, whether it's tattooing or business, whatever the case is. And that's super important. I don't know why it's not done more often. I don't know why I feel like other artists don't want to support other artists or help other artists. You know, I think that's kind of silly. You know, I'm all about helping people. You know, anybody who knows me, like when they're at the gallery, I'll do whatever I can to help you, man. I'll put time aside. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, dude. Like, if I know something and I can help you, I'm gonna fucking help you. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to be like that. I'm just saying that's how I am. You know, I'm that kind of person, and I feel like I love having people around who are like that as well. Like from my boy Trevor, you know, immediately he's, "Yeah, dude, I'll draw it for you right now," and he did, and it's fucking badass. That's like a mock-up, but I think I posted it. I posted it on Instagram. I changed the logo, the profile picture. I was like, "Fuck, that's kind of tight." I was like, "Damn, that's kind of cool." And you know what's so funny, guys? Like, the reason why I outsourced that, like, right, I'm a lettering guy. Like, Rocky, why don't you do your own fucking logo? I did do my own logo, the monogram. But me being an artist, I can always say, "Oh, damn, it could be better. Oh, I could be sicker," right? I'm always critiquing myself. But it's like, if I have somebody else do it and I'm a fan of their work, 9 times out of 10, the first draft, I'm going to love it. Cool, that's it. That's the logo. Leave it alone. I don't want to touch it. And fortunately, that's what happened with Trevor. I said, "Hey, Trevor, this is my vision, dog. I want it to be in casual. Do your thing." And if I tried to do it, I would have probably revamped it like 10 times. But it took Trevor one time. All right, we're good to go. Run it, dog. And I'm really happy with it. We're going to have like merch come out soon for it. It'd be super dope, like some hoodies, shirts. I want to outsource like another logo too, for sure. So we're gonna start pre-ordering for that in the future as well. Another thing I want to talk about is consistency. A lot of people have asked me like how I'm able to like post every day. I mean, fuck. I think trying to be as consistent as possible. You know, I have like alarms when I post and stuff like that, as far as like reminding me. But I think the real goal into accomplishing any goal in life is being consistent, right? Like if you wake up every morning and you follow this and you do these, not rituals, but you do these things in a certain order, and if you're consistent with it every day, eventually you'll reach that goal, right? And I think a lot of people lack the consistency. I know I do sometimes too. Don't get me wrong. It's very hard to be consistent every fucking day, but try your hardest to be consistent every day. That definitely helps. Anybody has any questions here? There was also something else I wanted to discuss, but I don't even see it on here. Oh, I did want to talk about Sacramento. That's right. So I never got the opportunity to talk about Sacramento. So yes, a couple weeks ago we went to Sacramento, and it kind of changed everything for me. You know, during that Sacramento trip, prior to that, I thought I was working hard, and it turns out I wasn't working hard enough. You know, being at that studio, man, fuck. Seeing, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Yeah, so seeing Angelo tattoo, Seal tattoo, Corey, Jose, Marcos, Carlitos, all of those fools tattoo and get down. I was like, fuck, man, you're fucking slacking, Rocky. Like, you're really slacking. So when I got to Sacramento, I gotta, you know, turn up the notch a little bit. Like, you gotta put out better work. And I think a lot of really great work came from Sacramento, man. I was telling Alfonso about it. Like, it was definitely an amazing experience for me. It really taught me, it humbled me for sure to say, like, damn, dude, you need to work harder. Like, your shit needs to be tighter. Your blends need to be smoother. Your blacks need to be more packed in. And I thought it was super cool, man, that during that time while I was tattooing, they would come over and ask me, hey, Rock, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? Or how'd you do this? And, man, that was, like, the coolest thing for me. Like, guys who I look up to, you know, asking me for advice. And even the homie Carlitos, man, shout out to my homie Carlitos. He was asking me for, like, advice on lettering. I was like, damn, that's fucking dope. Like, and I overheard him say, like, oh, I saw Rocky the way he packed in black, and he gets it really saturated, so I'm going to try that. That was so fucking cool, man. Like, that was the coolest thing ever. Like, for him to say that, because I take pride in that, you know, in my packing black ability, because it is lettering. There's a lot of fucking black, you know, but to get that from those guys, man, and I was like, fuck, like, I got to go really hard. And I really dedicated all of my time out there in Sacramento to tattooing. I was tattooing one time to like 3 a.m. It was crazy. But that's because when I was out there, all I wanted to do was work. You know, I wanted that drive, man. Those guys pushed me so hard. And that's what I love about surroundings. You know, I can't even stress, man, my boy Dr. Miller's in the motherfucking building. He's on Instagram. I just talked about you, bro. I just talked about you for like 5 minutes, and now you're just joining the live. Wow, fantastic. Yeah, man, having those right surroundings. And that's why I really enjoyed being in Sacramento, because all those guys, they were so dedicated to their craft, man. The way they tattooed, how focused they were. I loved every minute of being at Elysian Tattoo Gallery. If you're in Sacramento and you have an opportunity to visit that studio, you need to take your ass to that studio, for real. And that was one of the first times, I didn't talk about it too much on the podcast with Angelo, but that was one of the first times I did composition in a very long time, and I wanted to talk about that. Like I said, I didn't talk about it too much with Angelo, because the Angelo interview was more about Angelo. But I want to talk about that with you guys, where that was an opportunity for me to kind of take the easy route, and I didn't. You know, my client challenged me with all these words, and I wanted to take that hard route, so we did the composition route, and mainly was because I was at that studio, because of the surroundings I was in, you know, and I was able to put out some really good work at that time. You know, so I'm very grateful for that. You will catch me in Sacramento very soon. I'll be back in Sacramento in March, late March. What up, Carlitos? Way of Carlitos, what's up, my boy? We'll be back. I'll be back in Sacramento in a couple of weeks. I'm thinking late March. I'll talk to my boy Angelo about it. Shout out my boy Tattoo Angelo. Yeah, I won't be out there again. Sacramento showed me mad love. And I feel like ever since I got back from Sacramento, I feel like I've been trying to go even harder, you know, like just trying to really push the envelope on how much I can do, you know, always trying to work, trying to better myself. And I also understand too, man, that when I better myself, I can better people around me, you know, and I really feel like that's what I'm meant to do. Like, you know, I really enjoy helping people. So I feel like, you know, if I have an opportunity to help somebody, I will fucking jump on it. And I never expect anything in return, to be honest. Like, you probably like, oh, this guy just wants something in return. I really don't. I don't need anything from anybody. I just genuinely like helping people. That's what I find joy in. I don't know what it is. Call me weird, but I do. Like, it makes me feel great. You know, it makes me feel like I have a purpose. So that's why, like I said, I love tattooing so much, because it's allowed me to do both at the same time. You know, Sacramento also was like an eye opener for me as far as where do I see myself in like a couple years, you know, who do I want to be around with in a couple years? And it's opened my eyes to figuring out like, what does Rocky G Inks do this year as far as like, does he open up his own studio? Does he start traveling more, or whatever the case is? You know, so there's like a lot of things that went into play while being in Sacramento. And I feel like, once again, that comes with surroundings, you know, being around those people. I talked to my boy Angelo a lot about certain things, and he opened my eyes to a lot of things. He introduced me to a guy named Manny. Shout out Manny. I think it was Iron Monkey. Iron Monkey. Fuck. I think Iron Monkey Tattoo Shop. I fuck with Manny, man. Manny's heavy. My boy Trevor. I'm gonna get that shit tattooed. FEV, front end value. I love that. I fucking love that. Yeah, man. But yeah, Sacramento for sure opened my eyes into figuring out what I want to do in the future. So there's like a lot of cool things that I have in store, that I have planned. You know, being able to share with everybody in the future will be super, super dope. But I do have some exciting things coming up. Like, I have planned that are coming up. Hopefully sooner than later I can share that with you guys. But we'll see what happens, you know. You know, tattooing is definitely the main priority for me. You know, doing these podcasts are just things that I can do when I have time and when Alfonso has time. We take time out of our day to do these things, but I think we both understand the gravity that it carries, and that's there's actually people out there who really enjoy watching these, you know, and I never thought that we would reach people like that, or people would even be into it. But if people are, then we're super down with continuing doing it, you know? So, for sure, I want to thank, obviously, people who are watching it. There was also another thing I want to talk about, but I go on these, I venture off so far, dude, and then I keep talking. But on this list, there's this, excuse me. I feel like there was more things we were talking about in Sacramento, and that's why I wanted to do the podcast immediately when we got back, because I knew I would fucking forget. There were a lot of things that happened in Sacramento, man, but I can't remember all of them. I'm sure it'll pop up eventually. But yeah, another thing is, I don't know. Damn, what was I want to talk about something specifically. I really did. Let me see. Trust artists, consistency, manifesting, thread of the day. I can't think of anything else I wanted to talk about. How long have we been on this already? 55 minutes. So we wanted to keep it at an hour. Yeah, we did. We figured you guys didn't want to hear me talk for longer than an hour. So we definitely had like a mark, you know, and I feel like, damn, I've been talking for a while. I feel like there's like a lot of things I wanted to discuss. Yeah, definitely nothing more than an hour. We will be having more guest artists on the podcast soon. I have one artist in particular that I want to have on. I've talked to him about it, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, like, we can make some time, put some. Hopefully, like, our days align, and we can have him on here. But yeah, I think it's really cool for people to reflect on how far you've come, right? I know for me, I do get wrapped up in like, oh man, I'm not where I want to be yet, instead of appreciating how far I've come, right? I think these past couple of days, I have been doing that. I've been reflecting more on like, all right, man, like stop thinking about where you're not and let's start thinking about how far you've come, you know. And I'm really glad to say in the past 3 years, like all the fucking hard work, the commitment, the dedication, the resiliency, everything, all of that shit has paid off, man. You know, it didn't come easy. Tattooing did not come easy for me, man. And for any artist out there who thinks that, like, especially all the artists who just started following me, who are probably like, oh, look at this guy. He's got all these followers and blah, blah, blah. He probably thinks he's a shit. Like, no, dude. Like, it took me a very long time to get where I'm at. And even then, it's not even that long of a time. But there is a point in time where I didn't have that many followers and my work didn't look the way it looked, right? I never gave you guys really a background of how I came into tattooing. I remember somebody asked me, you know what? There was questions that people wanted answered. Hold on. There was one question I was like, oh, I'm gonna answer that question for that person. Let's answer some of these really quickly. Somebody said, what prompted you to become a tattoo artist and how long you've been in the game, right? So I've been in the game for only 3 years, very, very new. And what prompted me to be a tattoo artist was my boy Tony. He's a tattoo artist. He's my sister's boyfriend, and he tattooed. And I would hang out with him, and he would invite me to the studio, and I would watch him tattoo, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks fucking dope. You are your own boss. Like, you create your own schedule. Nobody tells you what the fuck to do. Like, you're doing your own thing. And I was like, damn, I could do that. I want to try that. But for me, it wasn't like I wanted to try that, like, just, oh, I'll try it for fun. It was like, damn, I want to try that, and I'm going to fucking do it. And for me, it was like, I've always been known, like, even when I was in school, like, for lettering. So I was like, man, I'm going to try this tattooing thing, but with lettering. That's what I want to do. And that's how it happened, literally in a nutshell. Once again, it wasn't intentional. It was just like, it kind of just like fell into my lap kind of thing, you know? And when I say too about nothing ever coming easy, you know, when I first started tattooing, I had a pretty good job. Like, before I became a tattoo artist, I was cool. I was making good money. With that being said, was I completely happy? But I was making good money, right? But they always say money can't buy happiness. I believe that shit. I for sure believe in that, because I was making really good money, but I fucking could not stand my job for a while. Like, I was like, all right, this is too much. Like, I'm getting a headache. I'm coming home pissed off. And I had the opportunity to tattoo. I was tattooing for a couple months. My homie Julius was like, hey, fool, why don't you come to the gallery and tattoo? And I fucking quit my job, bro. I fucking, dog. It's like a whole thing. Like, let's talk about this real quick. We talked about it on the Blasted interview. So I was like, I want to talk about this, but I forgot. We talked about it on the Blasted interview, but maybe not everybody has seen the Blasted interview. So here's my opportunity to tell you guys how it started. When I started tattooing in the very beginning, right, I was just doing little scratches and stuff like that, and like at the house, and I was tattooing a little bit, and I was like, this is when COVID was happening, and I was like, man, I want to tattoo more, but I have to work. I have obligations from my other job, and this job was paying all the bills. And I was like, fuck, I need to figure out a way to tattoo more. So I was like, I'm going to get COVID. That's what I did. Like, I got... So that's going to be a real, yeah. I went to the doctor. I got a test. I came back negative. I took a screenshot of it, put it on Procreate, erased no, circled yes, and I said, hey, I'm sick. I need to be off of work. And he said, all right, here you are. You're sick. You're off work. Be out of work for a month. And I was still getting paid. So I was like, damn, fuck yeah, I'm still getting paid. And I'm sick. So I was like, fuck it. So that month of not working, I was like, free tattoos, $25 tattoos, whatever I could fucking get my hands on. And I was tattooing a lot. Because I was like, I'm going to utilize this month of not working at my other job. And guys, when I tell you that I literally fell in love with tattooing, like I fell in love with that shit. Like being able to draw something and then put it on somebody's skin. I've never felt that before. I've never felt that like, man, this is like my drawing and this person wants it on their skin. Like, what the fuck? This is so cool. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the whole process of it, you know. And a month elapsed, and I was supposed to go back to work. Well, I went back to work, and I was so like annoyed. I was frustrated. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I don't want to go to work. I don't want. What up, Johnny? I don't want to do this shit. And at that time, Julius, my boy Julius Cordero, who owns the gallery, he hit me up, random. There's like a longer story behind this, but we'll fast forward. He hit me up. It was like, hey man, I have a spot open in April. Do you want it? It was like March. This was like early March. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want it. Fuck yeah. I didn't even bat an eye. I did not hesitate. I didn't even think twice about my current job, about how much money I was making. Because I knew I was going to take a fucking hit. I knew like, damn, because I was doing tattoos for cheap. But I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. I just want a tattoo. Like, I just want to keep drawing these cool things and tattooing them on people. That is all I cared about. So I was like, yep, I'm in there, April. So like, this is like March 1st, March 2nd. And I told my boss, like, hey, I'm giving you my 2-week notice. Like, this is it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to be a tattoo artist. And I fucking struggled, guys. Like, it was crazy. Like, what you guys see now is just like all the hard work that I put in. But I fucking struggled. Like, when I came to the gallery my first month, you know, it was hard to tattoo. You know, I didn't work at a walk-in shop. I was working out of my apartment, out of my kitchen, in my living room. I only had word of mouth. So that's why I was spending so much money on Instagram to have Instagram network for me, to show my work to everybody, you know. But for any artists out there, you know, who are going through something, you know, it's like, you can't compare my minuscule 3 years to like somebody's 10 years or to somebody's or even like their 2 or 3 months, right? Granted, I'm still very new. I've only been tattooing for 3 years. I know I recognize that I'm very new in this industry, and I'm okay with that. I love that. I love that I'm so new because I still have so much more to learn. And I think to myself, like, damn, imagine where I'm at when I'm 40. Like, fuck, like what else? Like the drive I have now. And you know what's so funny? We talk about that. I think to myself, why is it that I became a tattoo artist at the age of 31? Right? I thought about this a couple of days ago, and I was kind of infuriated. I was like, man, why the fuck did I wait till I turned 31 to become a tattoo artist? But I think I understood the reason why, and the reason is because I wasn't ready. I wasn't mature enough when I was younger. Because I've been around tattoo shops my whole life. Like, I got a lot of my stuff done when I was younger. I've always been around tattoo artists. My friend tattooed me when I was like 17 in high school. You know, like, I've always been around it. I just never thought to be a tattoo artist. And I thought, why did it wait till I was 31 years old to become a tattoo artist? And like I mentioned, it's because I think I'm mature enough now. Even if I started at a very young age, that doesn't mean I would be good if at the age I'm at now. I'm sure there's plenty of artists out there who have been tattooing for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and their work maybe doesn't look as good as the newer guys. Now, you could say, yes, the older guys didn't have the technology we have now and stuff like that, but that also goes to like, okay, well, then maybe you should adapt to the new technology. I don't know. That's on you, right? But, you know, I can't say that maybe 10 years ago when if I started tattooing 10 years ago, would I be how I am today? Because my work ethic and my drive is very different at the age of 31 than it was when I was 24, 25, 26. When I was that young, I was being fucking stupid. Yeah, I was a stupid little boy, you know, like, Yeah, I was an adult, but I was like a little man, you know, like what the fuck? I don't know anything about anything. And I think that's why it happened for me at the age of 31. You know, I think about that all the time. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. 31 years old, huh? Like, okay. But I feel like with the background that I have with running a business and now implementing that with tattooing, I think that's why I've been able to do what I've been able to do, because I am so focused. I think that knowing what you want and being 100% dialed in into your goals and dreams, that is like a fucking superpower, you know? I visualize everything, you know? My whole life I've been like that. I feel like if I can visualize it, then I can accomplish it. And I think that a lot of people out there, that's what you need to start doing more of, you know? Definitely we're doubling back on that. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, in essence, that's what I think people should do more of. Like, focus more. Don't quit. Don't be a fucking quitter, right? Settlers are quitters, right? Or don't use the word procrastinate. I fucking hate that word. Oh man, I genuinely hate that fucking word. You know why? Because procrastinate means that you don't care. That's what it means. Really, that's what it means. Like when people say like, oh man, like I have a project due tomorrow, or I have a project due in a couple of days. Well, how can you do it last week? Oh, I procrastinated. No, you mean you don't care. That's what that means. I fucking hate that word. Just say it is what it is. You don't care. You don't care enough to want to do it. Same thing with settlers. No, I just, you know, it's cool, dog. Like, I'm gonna just settle for this. Oh, you're quitting. Oh, you're a quitter. Nobody in life fucking accomplishes anything by fucking quitting. Nobody. So stop being a fucking quitter. I'll start getting on a crazy rant. Nah, anyways. Nah, just don't fucking quit, man. Fucking quitters irritate me. Don't be a quitter. Be focused. Be dialed in. Be driven about what you want in life and attack it. You know? That's like with anything, whether it's tattooing or running a business or wanting a promotion. I don't fucking know. But see your goal, smell it, taste it, visualize it, and make it happen, man. You know? Yeah, I think that's cool right there. I don't know if anybody in here has any questions. People were asking questions, but I kind of was going on a rant. But I don't know if do you have a question, David, about anything at all? No, you're good. That's fine. Yeah, man. So today was just a podcast shooting. Just like I said, we're gonna have guest artists on all the time. But I do want to mix it up once in a while and kind of throw just me in there. Typically what we want to do, I think, is have a podcast with just me and kind of give you guys maybe like what I've been through the past week or 2 weeks or whatever. You know, stuff like that, just to kind of like, you know, give you guys more of an insight of what I kind of go through, or like as far as like what I think about or how I view things in certain ways. Like my mind's racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But I do want to say really quickly, I appreciate all the clients, man, for sure. Like anybody who's gotten tattooed by me, man, like it means a lot. I know I say it a lot on my captions, and I mean that shit like vehemently. It means a lot to me. You know, when clients fly out from different states, different countries, and they come get tattooed by me, it's with the utmost like honor. I'm super humbled, man, and I just want to say thank you guys for that. You know, taking the time to fly out here, spending the money on your Airbnb, your flight, you know, your hotel, and then on top of that, getting a tattoo by me. I hope I've been able to capture everybody's image in their head when they want to get tattooed by me. It means a great deal to me, guys. I really do appreciate it that you guys have chosen me. You know, there's a lot of fucking dope ass tattoo artists in the industry. Oh, my boy, no one's in here. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. Damn, we miss you, Papa. The fuck? Whatever. Anyways. He told me he was going to come today. He didn't. Fucking liar. Damn, that's fucked up. It's crazy. Yeah, man. You know, when I write these things in my captions and I thank you guys, I'm not just blowing smoke on my ass. Like, it's genuine, man. I really thank you guys. You guys have helped me live like this amazing lifestyle, man, where I'm able to wake up and I wake up literally excited when I tattoo. You know, that's like the coolest fucking thing ever, man. Like, I've never, ever felt that way about anything I've ever done in my life as far as a job. I've never, like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to work. Like, I can't wait to go to work at Harley. I can't wait to go work at, where the fuck else have I worked? The other place, the garage door place, or Harley, or when I was in the military. Like, I never, like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I can't wait to go to work today. Fuck that. Every fucking morning I wake up and I think, oh my God, I get to tattoo. Today I get to do this dope ass tattoo. You know, and that's because of you guys. Every one of you who has either been tattooed by me, is getting tattooed by me, or who will get tattooed by me in the future, I thank you so much. Really. I can't express that enough, guys. Like, once again, you guys have given me this great opportunity to live this life. And I appreciate it, for real. No need to get all emotional. You know what I mean? We're going to cut that off. No, I'm just kidding. But I think, how are we on time right now? 13. But yeah, once again, like I said, guys, for anybody out there who's watching this, you know, I really appreciate you guys. Just know that nothing ever comes easy in life. You know, keep going, be resilient, be determined, be motivated. Do not let any naysayers tell you what you can and cannot do. If people are not in your corner, backing you up and helping you out, then fucking get rid of them. Evaluate your table, right? Make sure that whoever you allow to sit at your committee table, no more than 5 people, are looking out for your best interests. You're learning from them. They're learning from you. Evaluate that table. Figure out who's sitting there. Are they for the better? Are they for the worse? Figure that shit out, man. You know, and protect your table. Protect the people who are around you. Protect your surroundings. Protect your energy. And, you know, yeah, I think you should definitely evaluate that once in a while. You know, like I mentioned, guys, over and over. It's very important. You guys asked me how I got to where I am today. That's how. By protecting my energy, protecting my environment, protecting the people I allow to be around me. You know, if they're not fucking good for me, then I'll dump them. That sounds bad. It sounds crazy. It really does. But I always protect myself, for real. And you guys should do the same. So with that being said, right, protect your table, be motivated, be driven, be consistent, and ultimately don't fucking quit, because quitters, fuck, they get on my nerves. But yeah, man. So don't quit, guys. I mean, it's you know, I'm kind of like losing track of what I want to say here because I have all these emotions built up. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, don't let anybody tell you guys anything different. You know, you can use me as an example, or whoever it is as an example. You know, but don't let nobody project their fears into you either. Like that's a really big thing too. Don't let nobody tell you can't do something because they fear that you can't, or they can do it, so they're gonna project their fears into you. You know, so yeah, I definitely suggest that you protect that at all costs. Anyways, we got guys in here. Nobody else wants to ask a question. All right, cool. I guess we want to wrap it up now. It's been about an hour and 15. All right, so with that being said, man, I really appreciate you all for watching this podcast, episode 4. I don't speak Spanish, but thank you guys for tuning in to episode 4. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. Right, you're watching this on YouTube most likely, so Blasted Network. Instagram, Blasted.network on Instagram. You guys can follow. Did I already say Blasted? I did. Instagram, Blasted.network. Rocky G _ Inks, Dry Wipe Chronicles. And fuck with us, man. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know this is kind of like the ending of this was kind of like a long rant-ish, but we're still working out the kinks and shit. But I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next episode.